My pocket door is going to be nice and centered with this doorway. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to let natural light in here. Once I put a wall up, I'm going to lose that unless I put a glass pocket door in here, which is what I'm going to do. So this is going to be nice and in line, and I'm not going to need a 2x4 on the bottom where that door is, but I am going to run it from wall to wall, and then I'm going to measure out for my framing, and then I will cut this out afterwards. I'm just not going to nail right here where I know that the doorway is going. So if I take a measurement anywhere in the middle of this doorway, because I'm going to use 2 pieces, I don't have long stock. So if I cut a 6-footer, I'll just have a break right here. I know it'll be in the doorway. This is not necessary at all, but I know the way my house is framed, and there's a seam right here, a plywood seam. So every 16 inches, there should be a joist going this way. As you can see, there's a nail right here. So there's a joist there, there's a joist there, and there should be a joist here. And that will not only make sure that I get into something solid going this way, but if I had to drill down and run wires afterwards, then that'll help me out to avoid the joists. I'll do the same thing over here. Why not? 16, 32, 48, 64, and 80. I'm gonna cut this to the wall. Make sure it's on that line. Make sure you got a nice straight 2x4. You can nail it in place. You could also use construction screws if you don't have a compressor. That's as far as I'll go for now until I figure out the framing, and I'll cut this piece. 73 3/8. Need more pressure. There we go. So now I want to find the center of this doorway off of a wall so I can put it right on my bottom plate. So what I'm going to do is measure in between this casing, and this is 35 3/4. So that should be 17 7/8. I'll put the tip of the screw right at 17 7/8. I'll just make it easy, double check, and that's good. So now I can measure off of this wall, and that is 70 5/8. And then I'm going to measure off the same wall to right here, 70 5/8. That is center. So that's where the center of this pocket door is going to go, and we can take all of our measurements off of that. For the pocket door kit that I'm using, they require a rough opening width of 2 times the door plus 1 inch. So if I was installing a 36-inch door, which I'm going to, a 3-foot door would require 3 foot plus 3 foot. That's 6 feet plus 1 inch. So 72 plus an inch, 73 inches, or 6 foot 1 inch. Now as far as centering this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take half of a 36-inch door, and that's gonna be 18 inches off of my center mark. And if I mark that here, that's exactly where the opening behind me is. So I want my door to line up there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift this rough opening and have that extra inch go this way. So if I have trim going right here, I'll have some wiggle room, and I'll have my trim right here, and the door will line up here, which will make it completely even over there. So this mark right here, so this one is nothing, and this mark is going to be my jack stud. I'll take my framing square, and this is just fancy terminology. This will be my king stud. So my king stud goes all the way up to the top plate, and then I put my header in, my non-load bearing wall header, and then I put my jack up to the bottom of that. So the rough opening can be determined now by holding my tape to this jack stud and making this 73 inches. Remember, that is 2 times the door width plus 1 inch. 73 right here. I'll grab my framing square, mark right here and right here. This is 1.5 inches. So this will be my jack stud, and this will be my king stud. Hope that makes sense.